Wasteful.
So my guest today on the HQ is someone I have shared many chart battles with. She's won 2 Brit Awards, a Record of the Year, MTV European nominated, enjoyed 4 UK #1 singles, a top 10 single on the US Hot 100 with Never Had a Dream Come True, sold over 10 million albums worldwide. She has quite the story. Give it up. Joe O'Meara from SO7, everybody!
It's nice to see you again.
It's good to see you. How you doing?
I'm good.
Thank you
Very good.
so much for coming on the HQ.
Thank you for inviting me on.
How's all the gang?
They're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your
everything's
family,
good.
you've got a son, haven't you?
I have a 15-year-old.
Oh,
yes.
15, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's he doing?
He's 15.
I know exactly. I have 16-year-olds. I know all about it. I know all about it.
Yeah.
Now, when you agreed to come on this, Joe, I have to say, I was thinking about this and I thought to myself, what could be better than 2 mid-40s, reminiscing about their old respective bands? I mean, this is going to be fun, right?
This is going to be quite the chat, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Right, let's start at the beginning, right? You're from Romford, London.
Yeah, I am.
What was home life like for you in the 80s? You're similar age to me, a year younger. So what was home life like?
Do you know what? When I was a kid, it was all music for me. Yeah, going to like karaoke bars, doing talent competitions, open mic nights, listening to old singers like the Carpenters and, that kind of stuff, which wasn't cool, especially back then. No one ever listened to that kind of music. So I sort of would just love to sit in my room and sing Carpenters, perfect it, and then go out and perform it. So I wasn't actually a very cool kid.
So what's your mates saying to you when you're looking at,
Yeah.
why do birds?
I
And
know,
you're going,
right?
yeah, what are they saying?
Do you know what? When I was at school, there was quite a lot of bullying that went on. So I think I just found music as my escape.
Okay.
And lost myself in the music. And I'm glad I did because, I'm in my 40s now and I still love it. So it's
Definitely paid
worked
off.
out. Yeah, worked out well.
Your parents, were they at that time supportive, or were they supportive of music, of Joe wanting to be a singer?
My dad very much loves, the old Frank Sinatra and, all the old sort of crooners and stuff. But my mum, she's not musical in any way, but they were very supportive,
They didn't sing?
No.
Okay.
No, my dad thought he could sing, after a few. He's Irish.
Right, okay. Should get him on the next show. Get him on the HQ. So when you're belting out Carpenter songs, open mic nights, is that what you're doing? Are you winning? Are you entering competitions?
Yeah, I used to go around. I lost a lot of competitions, but then the wins started to come. I think as the confidence started to grow, I started to win a few, and then that felt really good.
Was that the dream? The dream then to be a singer?
No, I never dreamt of because I think like kids today, especially with like TV shows like The X Factor and like all those kind of reality shows that you can do now, it's almost like they are expected to be that. But back in our day, it wasn't such a thing, was it? Because those shows didn't even exist. So no, I never actually grew up dreaming of being a singer. It was literally by fate that I got up on a karaoke one day and sung Kylie Minogue's version of The Locomotion in tune. I was so shocked. And everyone went,
Did you do the dance as well?
No, I didn't do that. And I sung it in tune and I was just as shocked as everybody else. And then I was like, oh, I quite like this.
Yeah.
This clap that I'm getting. And it just literally went from there. So I started knuckling down and trying to learn different stuff. And it was always really old singers like the Carpenters, Eva Cassidy, Brenda Lee, Connie Francis, old singers.
Wow. I'm trying to put myself back there because I had an older sister and she was huge Bros fan and Aha. So I was kind of around boy bands when I was still kind of 10, 11, 12. This was pre New Kids on the Block and pre Take That and everything else. So did you have an older sibling who you'd look up to or follow?
But my older siblings were a lot older, so they'd already left home and they was going out and stuff.
Right.
When I was little, but the bands that I was kind of into that I had posters of on the wall was actually Mark Owen from Take That.
Was it? Oh, yeah. Okay.
He was my little crush back in the day. But Michael Jackson was a big one for me.
What about who else would have been back then, that era? E17?
E17. Yeah, I mean, do you know, all of those bands were good, but I was too busy listening to old singers.
Right.
You know, it was, I think Take That was the first proper band that I really liked
Right.
back then. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have good memories from the 80s? And what was Christmas like?
Christmas was basically every person going, get up and sing that song. And I go, what one? You know that one. And you're thinking, oh, yeah, that was pretty much it.
And then the open mic nights,
Yeah.
you know, were they fun to do? What age were you then, do you think?
Probably 13, 14 doing that.
And you think that kind of then put you into S Club world. How did the S Club world start?
So time moves on. I was working as a country singer because country music has always been one of my biggest passions. It's like the way my voice naturally sits is into country music, and that really wasn't heard of back then.
Right.
So I was singing in a country and western restaurant, and somebody from Simon Fuller's management team was just so happened to be eating dinner that night, and come over, approached me after and said, look, there's this audition that's going on for this band. Are you interested? So I thought, yeah, why not?
What age were you then?
18.
Okay.
I was 18 then, and I went along and I pretty much got the job when I turned 19. It was a very long process.
Right.
I
wonder, does that even happen anymore? Do people sing in karaoke's or whatever nowadays, and somebody goes, I'm from the office of Simon Fuller, can you call him tomorrow? That probably doesn't happen.
No, that's why I think it's weird. It's like a fate thing, because if I hadn't have gone into work that night, it probably would never have happened.
A real sliding door moment almost.
Yeah, really, yeah.
So when you get that call, you go back to, or you get that news, you go back to mum and dad and you say, right, I've got this opportunity.
Yeah.
What did you have to do? Follow up with an audition?
So we had to go into London, and there was like this big, massive queue of people, and then it came to be my turn, and it was Nicky Chapman was in there.
No, Nicky, yeah.
Nicky was in there. Nick Godwin, do you know
No,
Godders?
no.
She used to be like working with Nicky Chapman. There was like a few of them, and then I had to get up and sing. So I sung Fleetwood Mac, I'd done Dreams.
Okay.
And then I can't remember what the other one was that I'd done. I might have done Crazy, Patsy Cline. And then I was a bit too ballady. So then they said, oh, can you sing anything that's up-tempo? Well, I'm not really an up-tempo singer. And I was like, wow, what do I do now? So then I just done Whitney Houston. I Want to Dance with Somebody.
Oh, God, what a song.
I know.
Know your crowd,
and then
absolutely.
I was just like, the clock strikes. I was thinking, I don't even know it. But it's the only one I could think of at the time. So I done that audition, and then I didn't hear anything for a good few weeks. So I thought, oh, obviously I've not got it. Then I got a recall, and the recall was to go and see Simon.
Okay.
Went to see Simon, met him.
So Spice Girls were big at this point. They were,
yeah.
massive.
Yeah.
Okay. So did you know,
do you know
the enormity of what that, meant, meeting someone like Simon Fuller?
I don't think I ever really did at the early stages. I think I was more worried about. I was fine at being in the band. I was all right at the singing bit, and I was fine being on a stage.
Right.
But once the band was actually put together, it was then once we was officially together, the bombshell hit. Oh, and you got a TV show, and I was like, I've never acted in my whole life. I don't even know if I can.
So when you were going to meet him, you didn't know that? There was no TV show
There was
to you?
no mention of the TV show in the early stages, no. But that's probably a really good thing, because I think if maybe I had known that, I'd have thought, oh, well, I'm not an actor, so maybe this is not for me.
But it's probably one of those things, I guess, where, somebody throws something like that at you, and you're not going to say, you got your eye on the prize.
Yeah.
So you're not thinking, oh, no, can you act? Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. Try me. You know what I mean? That's probably the attitude you're taking at that point.
Yeah. I think we kind of had to, well, we were doing it. So, it was just, and then literally within 2 weeks on a plane off to Miami with a script, learn it. And the scripts were like this big. And I was like, wow, I've got to remember all of that stuff. And it was also my first time away from home. And we was going for 8 weeks.
To the States?
Yeah. So, yeah, it was all very, very daunting back then.
When did you meet the rest of the guys then?
At Nicky Chapman's house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Had you any idea of any of them, who they were, what they looked like, what they sound like?
No, was shown a couple of pictures of the official ones that were definitely going to be in the band. Me and Bradley were the last two to join.
Okay.
And then once the 7 of us were all together, then we went to Nicky Chapman's house and we all met. She had like a games room or something in her garden, I remember.
Right.
And we all met in there.
What was your first memory of them all?
Yeah.
Good.
It was.
I mean, you don't have to individualize any of them,
No,
but
it was. I think it was just quite overwhelming because I'd always been very shy,
Right.
very much a loner to a certain point because I spent all my time with adults and never really socialised around people of my own age. So I was either around adults or on my own in my room, you know, homing in on my talent.
right.
So to be put in with, you know, a lot of people that was the same age as me, I found it quite scary at first. But
Okay.
everyone was really friendly and it was fine. And it didn't take long and everyone was just buzzing and clicking. And then we realised we was about to go on quite a journey.
Was it all very exciting at that point, you know, or was there still a doubt in your mind going, I don't know what I'm really signing up to here?
No, I never thought that.
Right.
But I did think, I don't know what the hell was going on here.
Yeah.
I just didn't really have a clue what was about to happen.
Yeah, it's
No.
similar actually to the Westlife audition for a process for me. And I remember Louis Walsh saying to me, because Louis speaks so fast.
Yeah.
And he said to me, you're great. You're going to be in my next pub band. You're going to be in my next pub band. And I thought he was saying, you're going to be in my next pub band. And I was looking at him and a little bit like, yeah, okay, I'll roll with it because you're Louis Walsh and you manage Boyzone. But I really don't want to be in a pub band because, you know, that's what my dad had done for donkey's years. And
Wow.
although he was brilliant and successful.
Your dad is brilliant. I saw something with you and your dad not so long ago.
Oh, probably the, was it the Westlife dads?
It was.
Right,
And
and they all
got up
sang
and-
That's Life. Yeah, that was lovely.
What a
Because
lovely
3 of them aren't
moment.
around anymore now, unfortunately. So 3 of them passed away.
Really
So
special thing to keep, though.
100%. And when it pops up on those Instagram memories and, you know,
Yeah.
those Facebook memories, and every time it comes up, somebody will, you know, no
Yeah.
doubt text me and say,
Oh.
saw this today, but good memories. Yeah, but Louis was saying to me, pub band, you're going to be... And I remember he walked away then and the security came up to me and said, you're number 18, aren't you? I was like, yeah. And he went, so Louis wants to meet you and this guy, which is Brian.
Wow.
And I hadn't known him either. And I'm looking at Brian, I'm thinking, right, he looks like Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys. He must be good. And all my subconscious was telling me, you can't sign up to you've just left Leeds United. You're not going to go into a pub band. This was not made to map out for you. And all of a sudden then somebody slowly said, so yeah, this is going to be Louis' next big pop band. And I go, oh, thank God for that. Thank God for that.
Even though you was like very much into your football and stuff,
Yeah.
was music always a big part of your childhood?
Yeah,
growing up?
so my dad was in a band called Nicky and Studz.
Love that.
Nicky and Dad was lead singer, and so I'd been around music all my childhood. He was like weddings, dinner dances. He had a residency in the local pub that he would do Friday and Saturday nights. So my Saturday mornings would be play the football match for my local team, and then be in the room where my dad would be setting up the equipment, and I'd be like, you know, drinking Coca-Cola and getting up and listening to going 1 2 2 2 1 2.
Yeah.
And then practicing and rehearsing and sound checking. So yeah, I mean, Christmas in our house for that, from that perspective, there was always busy sing songs and big cabaret nights, and people would be calling to the door to try and get tickets, and the phone would ring and it'd be famous cabaret stars within Dublin going, hello, can I speak to your dad, please? And I always remember my mum used to train us to say, you'd say hello, your phone voice, hello. And then they go, hello, can I speak to Nicky, please? And you always had to say, who's calling? Because my dad was Nicky as well. So you could never, you know, if somebody said, who's that? You'd have to say, well, who are you looking for? You know, you had all these little kind of tricks of the trade. But yeah, so music was definitely in from my perspective in
And what
life.
was that the kind of music that you was listening to anyway, like growing up? Like, was that what you liked?
So Dad loved everything, Elvis, you
Yeah.
know, the big band stuff. But
Totally.
he'd always do all the current stuff that was in the charts.
Yeah.
You know, so if, like, I remember that song Reet Petite. Do you remember Reet Petite?
I
The
do.
So I remember for days he was learning that in you know, in the house, because that would be the
Do you
big
know what?
song of the time.
Those were the songs though, don't
Yeah.
you find?
Yeah,
Like,
I like-
even today, you put that on and it's just you're instantly in a good mood and everyone wants to get up and party. Like this year's Christmas playlist I'm putting together is all of that stuff.
Yeah, all the old stuff.
Yeah,
80s and 90s.
absolutely.
Yeah, no, but listen, like, times do change, but there's some great songs out there
Yeah.
today as well. Like, I mean, there really is.
Yeah.
It's pretty phenomenal. So the name of the TV show, was that Miami 7?
Miami 7?
And you're in Miami. Is that where you went, obviously?
Yeah, well, there's a few little tricks here.
Don't let anybody know the magic's not real, Joe.
No, we was in Miami. We filmed a lot on Miami South Beach and stuff, but our apartments where we had to stay was in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
Which was like
Florida, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
really sleepy town, like
Okay.
full of older people and lots of sort of like no bars or anything like that. I think they were just keeping us out of trouble.
Right.
You know, so it's
Well,
like, don't
clever.
let them go to South Beach. But
Clever.
we couldn't go out anyway because obviously you couldn't go out and drink until he was 21 and we was
19.
under the age anyway. So.
Right, okay. Did you try?
No.
You liar!
Nicky, I didn't.
No, I did not try.
I didn't. I can't speak for other band members, but myself and Rachel both teetotal.
Really?
Yeah.
Now?
No, not now.
Okay, right, then, obviously. Right, okay.
But it's funny
No,
you
not
say
now.
that.
I like glass of wine now.
No, do you know what? Pretty much I am again. As soon as I got back into this reunion, I was like, right, that's it. Because
Right.
now I'm a bit older.
Yeah.
Alcohol, this job, that show, no.
Well, you were a good band then, because when we went to the States, okay, and I was the oldest, only by about 9 months. Shane's after me. And I remember I was the only one that was 21 in America when we were there.
So you was out then?
So absolutely. But
See?
here's the thing. I remember I was the one with the passport. So the trick was Nicky goes to the door first. Nicky hands the doorman his passport. You know, they look and they really study the first part. They look at the picture, they look at the date, they look at me up and down. They go, okay, go ahead, sir. So I used to take the passport and slide it into my back pocket, but I'd hand it to Shane. And then by then they're just checking the date. They're just checking the year. They're not really looking at the picture. We all got in on my passport.
See,
that may or may not be true, everybody.
That is very bad boy behaviour. See, we were never like that. No, not that. You were rock and roll.
Well, we were definitely rolling, but maybe not rocking. Right, so Miami 7, I'm looking at stats here. Tell me if they're true. And I know you don't know to the exact number. 90 million viewers in 100 countries.
Yeah.
Joe, that's phenomenal stuff. No, it is though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not blowing smoke, but when I read that, I went, 90 million people were watching that show.
Do you know what? I know. It is quite unbelievable. I think it was like the #1 kids TV show in America and in the UK. And we still hold that record to this day. It's the biggest watched TV show of all time on CBBC.
I was like, what does that do to a 19-year-old? I mean, Westlife's success went pretty quick.
It makes me think that you don't need to have acting lessons.
Very good. Believe in yourself.
Woo!
Yes. I'll learn on the job. Did you enjoy the acting side of it? Was that fun?
Yeah, I did. We did. They were long hours, really long hours. So we'd have to sort of sometimes get up at like 3 a.m, 4 a.m, because they'd want you on set by sunrise.
Okay.
And then do a full day until sundown.
Right.
And then by the time you got back to your apartment or whatever, there's your next script. You've got to learn it all again for the next day. Fitting, eating, washing, sleeping.
I've never acted, right? I did a New York Film Academy acting course, but I've never had to learn a script. Not yet, but I'm going to be a Hollywood star when I grow up one day. But I often wondered how you do that. Like, is that you in a room reading over and over and over again?
Yeah. Literally, yeah.
No wonder you didn't get out for a drink.
Yeah, exactly. I just physically couldn't do it. Yeah. And I wasn't I wasn't very quick at learning the lines either. So I think I'd never learn the whole script, but I'd take my line from whoever's line was before me.
Yeah,
so say,
I would say I would do it like that.
Yeah, I would study, say it was Bradley's line before me. I'd study mine and Bradley's line. As soon as he said that, I know I've got to say my bit.
I would love to see the outtakes.
But the problem here was Bradley was asleep half the time. So that line never really came.
Right, okay.
So you're like,
and are you allowed to improvise in any of these situations? Or is it so...
A lot of our show is improvised, yeah.
Really, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so if Bradley doesn't deliver his line, you just rock on and...
You just carry on.
Make it up as you go along.
And then kick him under the table.
Were you homesick during that?
Terrible, yeah.
That's a big thing.
That was a big thing because I'd never been away from home before.
Okay.
At that point, 8 weeks is a long time with people you don't really know that well. Because we're still getting to even though we were doing stuff, it's a whole new world, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was very, very homesick.
How do you cope with that?
Work.
Yeah. Throw yourself into work.
Just throw yourself in, yeah. Yeah, because you do get homesick, but then you got lines to remember. So I'd just focus on learning the scripts and stuff. And do you remember those old phones that you used to be able to ring the UK from in America?
Yeah.
They were like, what were they? Like them long grey ones.
Tri-band.
Tri-band. That's
the one. That is the one.
Well, didn't you feel lucky when you had one of those phones?
Yeah.
I was all flashing my left and going,
Yeah. And the funny thing was, I remember you just reminded me of something. The first few times we went to the States, we didn't have them. So you had no phone. So it'd be like landing on Mars. You just weren't contactable. Yeah. And then I got a tri-band phone and we landed into America. And it was like, you'd pull this out of your bag and you go, nah, 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 nah. You got a tri-band.
That's exactly. And it's funny. We've led such similar lives in a way. Yeah.
Things are
I had
changed.
one of those. Yeah.
Were you all at that point? I mean, I guess you were making up as you go along, which is okay because you're young and foolish, so to speak. Were you all driven? Did you all sit down on your own at some point in somebody's hotel room, inevitably when you've got your own time, and say, we can be huge, guys? Did you ever have those conversations?
No, we never ever sat down. And I think we were just literally a bunch of giddy kids just going along for the ride. Didn't realise what was going to happen. We were just doing it because when we was filming Miami 7, no one still knew who we were. So the TV show was the first thing that the world ever saw of us. It was never the music. But I will never forget it. We landed back in the UK on the 8th of April and the TV show went out for the first time on the same day. So the day that we landed was the day that the first episode went out, and it was literally that quick. I don't know how it happened, and then all of a sudden.
And when did you record the song, if you know what I mean? Was that done in the States?
No, we'd done the album in Sheffield at Steelworks, pretty much. And then we were just recording over there as well. So we were doing the TV show, recording stuff. It was just like 8 weeks of complete carnage. And then we got home and it was like everyone knew who we were. It was the weirdest thing.
Did Simon meet you much during that time? Or was there somebody else? Did you ever get to meet him?
Yeah, we would see him not often, but whenever there was like the new single or a new song or a new idea or...
And would he basically tell you what was happening? Did you have any sort of input?
I think the input that we gave was ourselves because we all brought our own different characters. So, right. And I think when you've got someone like Simon who's had so much success, he clearly knows what he's doing. Yeah. So you kind of have to listen.
You ride the wave.
Yeah. You listen to the people that know, because I think if you try and be better and then it goes wrong.
Yeah. Did you have, would you all have had his personal mobile phone number in the event of needing to contact him, or was there somebody in between?
Yeah, there was always somebody in between because Simon was always flying around. Being Simon. Yeah, busy.
It's very similar to Simon Cowell, like the two Simon with us. Now we did have Simon's mobile number, and he was very hands on with us, and we did have those meetings in his office where exactly you'd ride the wave, and if he told you to jump, it was how high. That changed later on. You start to smell yourself a little bit, and you start to go, hang on, we don't want to record Heal the World by Michael Jackson. We need to pull this back a little bit and try with that. That, similar to all Simons must be the same. Simon Says, I guess.
It's Simon Says.
Simon Says. Right.
Exactly.
The year 2000.
Year 2000, yes.
If you don't remember, I'll remind you. I have some notes. It's gone bananas for S Club. You've won a Brit Award. Yes. Best Breakthrough. Mm-hmm. Your album's got number 2 in the UK, number 1 in New Zealand. Yep. And probably other number ones around the world. The second season of the TV show has started to air.
LA7.
So we changed name.
We did.
Why?
We changed location.
Oh.
We went to LA.
That was kind of obvious there. I wasn't thinking ahead.
Nicky.
Right, sorry. Row in, Nick.
Here we go.
Okay, so you're now in LA.
We are, yeah.
Okay. LA7. So same group, same principles, just moved on.
Same concept, different, just... Because every season was us trying to chase the dream. So we didn't find it in Miami, so we went to see if we could find it in LA. Okay. And then in real life, living in LA? Real life staying in LA, yeah.
Was that a big change from Florida?
Yeah, because I think we'd done the first season and we got our heads around, this is what it is. Right. We knew what we was doing. We was a lot more confident within our acting abilities. Right, okay. And do you know what I've always said? I think LA was.
They've got notions, Oscars now. They want everything.
I think LA was my favourite place. Right. I think I can speak for the group on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Were you as close as a group then?
Yeah, we were. We never really sort of went out, partying together because we was always working. Right. But yeah, we get on. It works. It's fine.
I won't get into it too much, but the dynamics in a band can be crazy because you get on with some people some days, other people, other days, that's just the way it is,
And
isn't
you know, and that is life. You know,
Yeah.
you can't be like back then, 7 people being happy all the time. You know,
Yeah.
you get people that are, you know, in a bad mood or whatever, and you got to respect that.
Yeah,
I
of
think
course.
respect is the biggest thing. It's like if you see someone that's having a bit of an off day, go, oh, that's having a bad one, and you let them get on with it.
And the big thing for and even still now with Westlife, communication is key, and we're still terrible at it.
Yeah.
You know, like, there'll be times when we're brilliant at it, but when
Yeah.
we're off, and then
It's tough.
You just don't speak, or you just, not that you're not speaking, you just don't get
Well,
to
no,
it.
I think it's just sometimes, you know, when you've been working in a bubble, especially the touring bubble or whatever, you know, you just need a minute.
Yeah.
Just a little
Leave
bit
me
of time
alone.
out. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's normal.
Right, back to 2000. Reach comes out.
Yes.
This is it now.
This is the one.
This is starting to go stratospheric. Right? I'm going to call you the biggest band in the world. Only we were out then too, so it would feel a little bit wrong.
We battled a lot.
Good times, they're good times. But so that then reaches number 1.
Yeah.
Children Need. Yeah. You then release Never Had a Dream Come True. That's a Children Need single.
Yep.
And you've got a top 10 US hit with that.
Yeah.
I mean, it couldn't be going any better. Am I wrong?
No, yeah. It's when, do you know what? I don't take much notice of it, but when you sit there and say it, you go, wow, yeah, we did do that.
But did you get to enjoy it at that point?
Nope.
Okay, I'll rephrase, because I've heard a lot of people say that.
Nope.
That I
Too
didn't
busy.
allow myself.
Yeah, maybe it was that, but we was always on to the next thing. So, you know, we'd do Children in Need with our number 1 single, and it's stunning, and, you know, that, and then we'd literally get in a car, jump on a plane with a script.
Yeah.
Or get married in the next thing.
Yeah. Taking out your tri-band phone saying, I'm going to call everyone back in England.
Take the tri-band phone. Exactly. So
But
yeah, it was just busy.
Isn't it sad though, in a way, if Joe and Mira had been able to jump out of that bubble, you know, go up high and go back to England, not being in for a second, and look at what our mates or what our family were going, look at our Joe, look what she's doing. Look how amazing that's going.
I think that's why this time I'm trying to just enjoy every single second of it, because to be doing it 25 years later is quite incredible. So you got to just you know, it's not going to last forever.
Yeah.
S Club's never going to last forever and ever. So this tour, I think we've all just putting our heart and soul into it, and just got to go out and enjoy it.
And exactly, that's the key word, and have fun.
Yeah.
So in 2001, which is obviously, you know, at the end of the zeros, 2001, you release Don't Stop Moving. Number 1 brings the 2nd Brit Award.
Yes.
You're working up to that, Oscar. And then, you know, you've all the adulation, you've all the, I guess, the fame.
Yeah.
If that's what you were craving, I'm not saying it was, but if that's what you were all craving, you've fame, you've adulation, your household names.
Mm-hmm.
Have you money at that point? Are you able to treat yourself?
Yeah, of course. You know, there was always a lot of talk about that, which is just, you know, papers.
Yeah.
Papers are always going to be papers,
of
aren't
course.
they? But yeah, and at the end of the day, you know, we were young kids.
Yeah.
You know, we've got houses, we've got cars, you know, we've got money in the bank.
You earn it to spend it.
I'm quite grateful, and I'm getting to live my dream and sing.
Yeah.
Because the one thing I never got into the band for was ever for fame.
Right.
I've never been a fame-hungry person.
Okay.
But I do love what I do.
Right.
I love it when I'm on that stage and I'm singing.
Yeah.
And if I'm singing well, that's what I'm doing it for.
So in those times when you're recording then, you know, and very similar to Westlife, and I'm not afraid to say, sometimes there's animosity in bands of who grabs lead vocals. You know, Shane and Mark obviously with the lead vocals in our band.
Yeah.
But I remember distinctively having conversations when we came back for the reunion to go, well, lads, you know, we got to look at this a little bit differently, because, and there's a formula to a pop band. You know, and people don't want to mess with those formulas. And you understand it. It's only when you get older. And during it, it's tough. But you ride the wave, you know, don't rock the boat used to be the saying that was thrown at me a million times. Was there, and you're, I suppose, different to me in this respect. You were a very prominent lead singer in S Club.
Yes.
Did you ever feel any animosity from anybody?
I did sometimes just feel, you know, but at the end of the day, I think that everybody in the band's voices are so different, and the songs that were being chosen for us to release as singles just suited what I was doing, you know, because of the ballads, especially with the ballad stuff. It's what I do. I feel like I'm in my comfort zone when I'm singing the ballads. But you know, it's just bands are always going to bicker over, you know, who's sitting where or who's got the better room or, oh, that room's better than the room I've got. And it's just, it doesn't even matter. Even in your 40s, you're still like kids.
Yeah.
It's like, I want what they've got, you know.
I know.
Do you know what? I don't take no notice no more.
We used to argue over who's standing in the middle on the front covers of Smash Hits. You were in the middle on the last one. It's my turn.
Get me in the middle. Yeah, I was never in the middle.
Yes, you were. You had to have been. Although there was 7 of you. How does that work?
Exactly.
I gotta do the maths. Okay.
Yeah, so we used to do 4 and a 3. But yeah, no, it was never very rarely in the middle. But I did sing most.
But
of the
nobody,
songs.
like, and I'm really not trying to kind of get in, but nobody
I think
fought with
you're
you.
trying to sabotage the band.
Not
Nick.
at all. No, but there was nobody, because there was arguments with us, but there was no one ever got, oh, Joe's singing that again. That just didn't know.
No.
Okay.
No.
That's good to know.
No, I think that everyone just respected it.
Yeah, that you were the best and that was it. I get it.
Oh, for God's sake. I tell you what,
What are you talking
that was him. That was not me.
Right, okay. So let's go to 2003. You're top of the world, and then Paul leaves.
Yeah.
That's I've been there, you know, with Brian, obviously.
Uh-huh.
Tough times, not easy when somebody leaves a band.
No. But do you know what? We respected that it was his time and that he'd had enough, and he wanted to try new stuff. And you know, we'd achieved a lot as a band, and this is the thing, you know, you've got to be able to respect each person with what they want to do. So you know, we fully supported him. I think the last gig that we ever played together was the Golden Jubilee.
Okay.
And we sort of like massive, yeah. So what a way for him to go out, you know. So yeah, it was.
Did you know that was coming, or
I had an idea, but yeah, it wasn't that long before he actually officially left that we found out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was quite soon. I'm gonna play a clip here on YouTube that I saw last night. Have a little look at this.
Oh,
then,
wow, there's a screen and everything.
Yeah. Now have a look, because
we've got something very, very important that we'd like to speak to you all about this evening.
Oh God.
Okay, we've all been together for 4 years and we've had the most amazing time. So tonight we've got some good news and a little bit of bad news. The bit of bad news is something that has been in the papers a lot recently, but we felt it was very important that we told you here tonight from us. Tonight we're here to announce, it's a little bit sad, but we will be splitting. But don't panic, guys, please don't panic. The good news, not just yet. The good news is that we're still together for another month yet, and the S Club Juniors are still here staying together. We're going to carry on the S Club now.
What? There's some junior fans out there. But listen, we don't want to see any sad faces, okay? Because you get us started and then I'm about to sing and the whole show's going, you know? But instead, we're going to make it a celebration, all right? We'll have a good time tonight. Got a lot of dedicated fans out there. We've been with you for 5 years now. It's been the best journey of our lives. You've been a big part of it, so tonight we want to see you all dancing. We want to see you get alive and have some fun.
And we just want to say, we love you guys so much. You are the best fans that a band can ask for. So thank you so much. Have a massive round of applause as we bring S Units back on stage.
Are you ready for the party?
Oh,
look at the size of that crowd.
I know, crazy, right?
Joe, when you watch that, how does that make you feel? Sad or happy or relieved, or what was going through your mind?
What am I wearing? That's the truth, yeah. Looking back at that, yeah.
Did everything else go over your head there? You were just focused on your outfit. Looking
at when you said what's the first thing I thought when I was watching that, it's what I'm actually wearing, yeah. But yeah, we was really nervous of telling the fans that we were splitting, because S Club fans, as I'm sure, like Westlife fans, are exactly the same. They're very loyal, aren't they?
Fanatical.
Like really fanatical.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were very nervous about telling them, but they, you know, people understand, don't they?
When was that decision made then to tell them?
We discussed it probably a week, 2 weeks before we decided to announce it. I think we'd come to the end. Like we'd done everything that we set out to do, you know, and I think once we'd done the movie, you know, we wanted to go out on top. There wasn't really anywhere else for us to go. We'd done the TV shows, we'd done documentaries, we'd done specials, we'd done wildlife shows. We was on telly continuously. You couldn't open a paper or switch on the TV without us being there. So We were tired, and I
Okay.
think it was time.
Do you remember who may have raised it first? You know,
What, the
idea at
conversation?
yeah, who kind of broaches that topic?
Do you know what? I really genuinely cannot even remember. It's almost like we just all felt it instinctively at the same time. I think when Paul left, we knew that we were doing the movie, another album, and another tour. And I think once we'd done those three things, we'd sort of like seen out what would needed to be done, and we was like, we're done. I can't actually remember one person saying I want out. Only Paul.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long was there between Paul actually leaving and you guys splitting, you think?
Oh, and a good year. Another
Okay.
good year, because we'd done another arena tour, filmed a movie. But do you know what was really good about the TV show was we've done Viva S Club was the last TV show which we filmed in Spain. And we could write Paul's exit into the story.
Right. That probably made it easier for fans.
So it did
then,
make it a
yeah.
lot easier for fans.
Yeah.
So there was like a natural transition. So it wasn't such a shock. It wasn't like he was in it and then all of a sudden all Paul's off.
Right.
Yeah, it was all written in.
Massive decision though. How long was that after, let's say, getting in? 4 years, 5 years?
Yeah.
So for that, you know, that's a big bulk of a very, I guess, impressionable part of your life.
Yeah.
So for you personally, let's go into Joe's head.
Yeah.
What were you thinking? Were you worried?
After it all
Excited?
went, after everything had finished,
Yeah.
I felt empty.
Really?
Yeah. Because I'd always had we was given literally like an itinerary. You remember those itinerary books?
Yeah. There was never a day off in those ones.
Nope. And my life was planned every single day. And then when I got to the end of the book, it was like, that's it. I don't know what to do tomorrow because I'm not being told what to do. So it was eerie. It was weird.
What did you do?
Absolutely nothing. Slept. I thought, oh, well, I might as well sleep. But I had a back problem anyway because my
Okay.
back started going bad towards the end of the band. So, yeah, I got that sorted and I just took time out.
Did you speak to the rest of them or did you go
Nope.
cold turkey?
I went cold turkey.
Did you?
Yeah. I think we just all, like what we was discussing earlier on, you know, it's not being rude, it's not being horrible, but sometimes you just need a minute.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I think after it had finished, I just needed a little minute.
I read somewhere that Simon Fuller had said to you about you.
About me?
Yeah, she's going to be the next Christina Aguilera. I mean, that is a huge statement. I mean, I'm not, again, you got the voice, but what about that for a statement by someone like him?
I know. Yeah. It's good. I'll take it.
When that happened, when he said that, or, you know, was he telling you privately, here we go, Joe, this is your time on your own?
No, it didn't. The voice was always there, but the look wasn't. That's the bottom line of it. I think that was a lot of it.
What do you mean the look wasn't?
Because realistically, back in the early days, remember, like it was a lot of like sex sells, and you had
Right.
to have like a certain kind of an image. And when you look at that video there, it didn't work.
Okay.
So I don't know whether
This
that
is
might
your
have been-
opinion or this you?
It might be my opinion. Yeah,
Okay.
maybe it was my confidence. Maybe I didn't know how to be without them. I don't know. But I like the compliment from him.
What happened then, solo wise? Did you get a deal? Did you?
Solo wise, what did I do? I did an album, Relentless. I
Okay.
went into the studio. I took quite a lot of time off, and then got back in the studio, started recording, and released my first solo album.
And was Simon then still a part of that?
No.
Okay.
It's so actually genuinely so many years ago. I can't actually remember exactly what happened, how that happened.
Right.
But yeah, it wasn't through Simon. It was through, I got a deal with a label called Sanctuary.
Okay.
And done the album with them.
Okay.
Yeah, and Metrophonics.
Yeah.
Do you know Brian
Yeah.
Rawlins?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he done, I topped up working with him and he done the album.
And then, so how many years now are we talking from 03 splitting to releasing that album?
Oh God, 2005. So 2
Okay.
years.
Right.
2 years after the band split. So the band split in 2003 and I released that in 2005.
Was that a different kind of process making that album on your own? Or?
Completely,
Yeah.
yeah. It was a lot more like acoustic, chilled. Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
I really, really enjoyed it. Yeah, because don't get me wrong, I love S Club. I love S Club's music. But after us talking earlier on about the sort of stuff that I grew up listening to, I was able to do a lot more of that kind of stuff and get back to, because sometimes, do you find this? It's like, I didn't know who Joe O'Mara was. I know Joe from S Club.
Yeah.
But I don't know who I am
because
I've only been this Joe from S Club for so long. So I had to sort of like relearn how to get to know myself again.
Well, what people fail to understand is when you join a pop band, you lose your surname. Yeah. You become Nicky from Westlife. There's no Nicky Byrne anymore, and you're Joe from S Club, not O'Mara.
Exactly. So you forget who Joe O'Mara is.
Yeah.
But
it is O'Mara.
I'm O'Mara, yeah.
Oh my God! So everyone was telling me it's O'Mara.
No, you see, only Irish people know how to say it.
Yeah, and I had to train myself to say O'Mara when I thought it was O'Mara.
O'Mara.
Oh. Can we start this show again, please? We have to start all over again. Right, so so when you nearly lose your identity a little bit. I know that sounds ridiculous.
You do.
But you go on then launch your solo career and you're back to Joe O'Mara being that person that you were
scary.
as a kid in school.
Yeah, that's really scary because if you're having a bit of an off day or you can't remember something, there's always someone next to you that you can sort of like lean on.
Yeah.
When you've been used to being in like a gang of people and now all of a sudden the gang's gone and you're by yourself, you do feel very vulnerable.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And I always say when you're doing promo, you've got people to lean on. So when you're on your own, you've got to be the funny one, the serious one, the talented one, everything else that goes along. You got to be interesting for a 10-minute interview.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it?
Yeah. The rest of them are terrible at it in Westlow. I was very good. After all that, S Club 3.
Yes.
How did that come about?
I was doing solo stuff.
Right.
And I just so happened to see Bradley and Paul DJing.
Okay.
Doing something. And then I just jumped up because I've not seen them for ages. I jumped up with them and the crowd loved it. It was like, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
And that was it. So it was me, Paul, Bradley for a good few years. And then Paul left. And then Tina jumped in, and then it was me, Bradley, and Tina for another few years, and then we're back.
And
now.
what type of venues were you playing?
All different. Sometimes we'd like do like the Butlins Reloaded, and then we could be doing like a massive festival in Canada, or we've got flown to Singapore, and so we've done a lot of good gigs, really good gigs. We've done a lot of bad, but you know it was varied and it paid the bills,
right? You
know, and at the end of the day, when you're a single parent, you've got to put food on the table. So you have to do what you got to do by any means necessary.
And you've thrown your energy as a kid yourself into S Club and the TV and everything we've discussed and the pop career. And now that at that level is over, it's kind of all you know.
Yeah.
And nobody's there. I don't know. I'm not putting words in your mouth, but nobody's there to pick up the pieces and say, "Here's what you should do now."
No, not at that time. No, because I was kind of like, how can I put it? I didn't have like a manager at that point. So like not like a manager. So I was just going out and just gigging and doing my thing. And then when I saw the other two, it was familiar.
Okay.
And I suddenly felt safe again.
Yeah. Because
I've got two of my own around me. So then I could get on stage with them. And do you know what? For a lot of time, I'm never going to disrespect the SC3 thing that we done because we had some fun.
Yeah.
You know, we did have a lot of fun.
But I always thought when that was happening, as an outsider looking in, and I don't claim to know any of you very, very well at all. We've been around you a million times as the band and different TV shows.
Yeah.
But I always remember thinking, is somebody, would some, like I have a phone here, look, watch. Is somebody not just pick up the phone, call the rest of them and say, let's do stadiums and arenas again?
I know, right?
Well, so who wouldn't, or who did you never go, I'll wear the captain's armband, I'm going to call the rest?
No, I do you know what? But brutally honest, for a little while I wasn't so sure myself.
Okay.
If I could physically do it again. I don't know why, but I think it's such a big thing. You've got to be
mentally right for that.
Absolutely.
Okay,
and maybe I wasn't. So, you know, I wasn't so sure. I wasn't so sure for a long time. And then I think everything in life happens for a reason. And I think that things happen at the right time. And I think that this time was the right time for everyone. So that's why we're doing it again now.
So before hang on, we'll get that 2015, the reunion.
Yeah.
How does it start? Who calls who? What's happened? Is it Simon? Is it one of yous? What's happening?
How was that? I think this could be a Tina Barrett thing. She claims this is hers, and I think she's right.
Okay.
Tina was like, let's just do it. Let's do it. Got in touch with everyone. At that time, everyone went, yep, all went round.
But have you been around? Like, is anyone over to anyone's for takeaway? Has that started to happen?
You know, don't you?
No, I genuinely don't, because I know what happened with Westlife. But
same thing.
Okay.
All round Tina's had Chinese.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
And then we just was like, yep, let's do it.
So is it everyone around Tina's?
Everyone.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. And then that was it.
So I guess when you're accepting that invite, you kind of know someone's going to raise this question.
Yeah.
And then you've got to ask yourself before you get into that house or apartment, am I committing to this?
I think if you know that you're going into that and you really know what's going to be said, if you don't want in, you're not going to go.
Okay.
We was all there.
So to all the Esco fans out there, who says it? Glasses of wine, I'm sure, beer, whatever's going on, Chinese takeaway. Who says, right, are we going to effing do this again or what?
Tina.
Yeah?
Yeah. And we just looked and went,
okay.
Let's do
We're
it.
in.
Yeah.
We're in. Do you know, it's lovely. I'm going to play one more clip for you. Have a look at this, because I watched this last night.
Oh, God.
No, but this is beautiful. Watch this. He we have to mention Paul, obviously. He looks so happy there. You all look so happy. Do you know what? I actually can't recall. I've been getting goosebumps talking about it. And I mean this. I don't remember seeing a clip of any band looking that happy at any point.
He was so excited because he had an idea that we were going to come out, but he wasn't quite sure. And then when we did, because that was our last night in Sheffield.
Okay.
Was it Sheffield? I think it was Sheffield. It was the final night, so we was like, "Oh, let's all go out and surprise him on the stage." Yeah, he was over the moon.
What do you think? Or what happens to you when you look at that?
It's sad. Yeah. It's still so new.
Yeah. It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe. Do you remember the best memories of him throughout his life that you had shared with him?
I think you do, yeah. You know, he was a pain in the bum sometimes, you know. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, but he was funny.
Yeah.
And I think you do miss that. You realise now the energy. Yeah.
How has it been then since?
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry. I don't want to make you upset.
I don't even know why.
No, it's understandable. That's understandable. I don't want to make you upset. Sorry. Do you want to move on?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, the reunion that you've just kicked off, right? You're doing so amazing. I've been watching this stuff. Do you want to take a minute?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
I don't,
absolutely.
do you know what? I think it was that.
Listen. I don't want to. I just want to watch the last night.
The thing is, we talk about him all the time, don't we? And I never get like this. So I don't know what that is. Sorry.
You okay?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
I actually don't have any tissues. So, you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I don't know what happened there. It's
That's
just, it's cool. Right. Let's go.
Deep breath.
Woo!
Deep breath.
I'm back.
I don't claim to know him that well, to be honest, at all. I met him back in the day.
Yeah.
He seemed like such good fun.
Goofy.
Yeah.
Really stupid, playful, harmless, innocent, fun. Yeah. It was cool.
It's hard to believe, because I was looking at the dates. I remember where I was when I heard that he passed away, but when I was looking at the dates, you only announced the big reunion in February.
Literally, yeah.
And did the promo, and you're all pictures.
Done all the promos. Good. And the saddest thing is, he was the most excited. He was so excited. And that's what's so heartbreaking.
That breaks my heart.
Yeah.
Like, it really does. It's,
you know, it's quite unbelievable what's happened, to be honest.
How do you even start to negotiate a conversation, having agreed as 7 to do a tour in February, Paul suddenly
Yeah.
passes away 3 months later.
Yeah.
But and I mean this from a person who's done tours, the
Yeah.
planning that's involved, the stage
Oh, it's
building, the
huge.
set design, the people who are
Yeah.
booked, the bills
Yeah.
that are coming in already to pay for X, Y.
Yeah.
How do you even say, we're in this situation, now what do we do?
Do you know what? The management, Simon, Gayla, everybody on the management team, first thing that they said was, listen, we can pull this whole thing. It didn't matter that things were already in place or, you know, contracts or whatever. It was like, this is down to you. You've got to do what's right for you. I don't think that it was ever going to be a case of us not doing it, because that would be letting him down.
Yeah.
Because he wanted it so much. But we just needed a minute to sort of come to terms with what happened and sort of like, and have time to just grieve and sort of like, you know, because it's so shockingly unbelievable that, you know, 46, so young, and it was such a shock to find out. So we needed just time to sort of get our heads around what was going on. And then I think we collectively, as a band, we went and we met up and we sat and we discussed, you know, we laughed and we cried and we spent time together. And we was like, we're going to do this tour and we're going to go and do it for him because he was so excited. So we've got to do it for this one now. So that's what we're doing.
Do you remember where you were? Who called you?
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, I remember it like yesterday. It was horrific. Yeah.
And where were you?
I was in bed. It wasn't even late. I go to bed really early, by the way. It was like 9.
That's a sign of age. So that's 40
yeah, that is
happens.
actually a sign of age. It was like 9:30 maybe, and I got a text first saying, when I call, pick up immediately, on the group text for like management and band. And I was thinking,
Who sent that? The management sent that?
yeah.
Okay.
So it rung. Me and John are always early for everything. Always pick up first. Me and him picked it up first. And I went, this is either really, really good or really, really, really shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was really, really, really shit.
And the worst part about that as well, one of the worst parts is that you're all not together.
No.
You're all away. You're all in your house, different wherever you live. You're all over the shop.
Yeah. And, you know, when she said, you know, Paul is no longer with us, I thought he'd left again. I thought, oh, maybe he's decided this isn't for him after all. But no.
How about his parents? Like, how are they doing, or his family, or
It's tough, you know.
did they give you their blessings for the show? Did they-
Absolutely, yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, we've not done anything without running everything past every person that, you know, needs to know within his immediate family. Everything that we've spoken about, everything we talk about, down to the show, down to, you know, working with the British Heart Foundation. Everything is always run by the family and they get to approve everything. And if they wasn't happy with something, we won't be doing it. Yeah.
And that's admirable, in fairness, and
Yeah.
and honourable. So at this point, then, I don't even know how to ask this question, but how do we even approach the Hannah question? What, like, do we even discuss? Do we say what happened? Will she ever come back? What?
Who knows? You
Yeah.
know, we've sort of like, you know, everyone, this is what we were talking about earlier on. Everybody has to do what they need to do for themselves to be happy. And, you know, that's what we're doing. That's what Hannah wants to do. And, you know, we've always said we wish her the best of luck with whatever she wants to do. The door has always been open. We never closed it.
Yeah.
But for right now, you know, the 5 of us are just concentrating on making this tour as special as what we possibly can, you know, especially under the circumstances.
But, you know,
So
you
we're
all
concentrating on
deserve it. That's the hard,
Yeah.
I think the hard part to take, having been, you know, together for so long, so successful, away for so long, bits and
Yeah.
pieces and different things for all of you. And then to, you know, to have that Chinese and to commit to it, then
Yeah.
for the worst thing in the world to happen.
Yeah.
And I think you all deserve to go out and enjoy this tour, and really, for everybody, for yourself,
Yeah.
for your own family, for Paul's family, and for all each other. Like, you know, it's
Yeah. It
because
is
what you
special.
did and are doing, but what you did is a part of history. Like, you know, it's
Yeah.
thousands, millions of people would give their left arm to to do what you've done, you know?
Exactly. And I think you only really appreciate that kind of stuff when you're older.
Yeah.
And you look back. So, that is kind of the mindset going into this is, yeah, it's tiring, especially when you're, mid-40s and you're doing it. But I just want to go out and enjoy it, and I want to do the best I possibly can.
So what's the future now for can we even predict? Is there anything? Are you discussing anything? Or
Yeah, we are discussing all sorts of things at the minute. Yeah, the tour is not it.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Yeah, this is not it. This is more than just a reunion.
Okay.
This is a comeback. So there's a lot of stuff going on next year. But they're all talks at the minute, but we're just discussing our options, what is the best way forward for us to go. But yeah, it's good to be back.
What have you found differently on this tour in terms of the way the music industry moved on, or the crowds? Or I'm sure that the kids that used to follow you in the arenas are all adults now.
Bringing their kids.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Yeah. Seeing a lot of the first time round people bringing their children. I've realised that John can still flip.
Can he?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Got to see that. It's got to be on YouTube.
It's pretty good. And I've realised that I ache more.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially after all the back stuff, so yeah.
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 Okay. So do you think there'll be an album down the road again?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so. I don't see why not. I think if the fans want us to do it, it'd be silly to not.
How brilliant is the nostalgia ticket? Like, it's because the fans are going to I want to hear it. You know what I mean? So like you want to go and see these bands doing it, because I think from the bands that we would have listened to in the 80s, they don't really, not a lot of them do what the 90s bands do.
I think that there's something really special about our era.
Yeah.
That is bigger than ever for some reason. And it's sort of like, people really love it so much, don't they?
Yeah.
That more than any other era.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it is. It is. And I think, I don't know if social media helps that. Maybe it does. I mean, I'm on social media, but I'm not the biggest fan. I think it does create a lot of mental health problems. And that's another thing, by the way, because I never focused on it, but it was on my notes here.
Yeah.
When we were doing what we were doing in those early days, mental health wasn't a thing.
Nope.
Just wasn't a thing.
No.
It was like, man up, deal with it, get on with it.
Yeah. Or like your T&E was that one, you're tired and you're emotional.
Yeah.
Get some rest. I was like, there's no time.
Yeah. Do you think the world is in a better place now that we talk?
I think that the world is in a better place, yeah. That we talk, but I think that social media is not
toxic.
Yeah.
Absolutely, the Wild West.
Yeah. I would rather my son not be on it, to be honest, but they're on it, so But yeah, it's not the greatest thing because I think so many people filter everything, and you're expected to look a certain way, and that shouldn't be the case.
Although one of the positives, I put a filter on last night on TikTok on my Instagram.
Oh, I filter everything.
No, but I did the age one where I went from like 85 down to like 12. I was looking at myself going, that's me.
I know, right?
It's crazy.
Some of those filters are very, very dangerous, though.
I know.
Especially
no, they are.
The TikTok ones are.
Yeah, that's the one I was using last night.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Great.
It's bad.
All right, Joe, last couple of questions.
Okay.
How, truthfully, what did you think of Westlife during the years? What did you actually think of us?
No, my favourite, actually.
I'm your favourite. Thanks for that. Thank you. No, genuinely, same era. What did you think of our music and what we were doing?
I was always we was always in competition.
Yeah.
So we was always like, especially Record of the Year. Do you remember the tables? And
yes.
we'd be looking at you going, we're having you. We are having you this year. This is our year. And then you'd go and do it again. Damn it. But
Good times, though. What would be your
Really good
favourite
times.
Westlife song?
God, Flying Without Wings
Really?
is one. Yeah. There's something, it's a music video in a castle.
In a castle.
Yeah.
Queen of My Heart.
Yeah,
Yeah?
that one.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know what? And I'm not blowing smoke up yours either. I don't actually think Westlife have got a bad one.
Okay.
No.
I think we do. I think we covered
Why?
the Rose. We should have never done that.
Some say love.
Great song, but
Great song.
4 middle-aged lads singing the Rose. Come on.
Yeah, maybe.
now you see it. Now you get it. We never do that one. We never. That's the one where we go, we're not doing the Rose. But we did. I mean, yeah, good. World of
Do you know
Rome's a
what?
tune.
The songs are, the catalogue is pretty impressive.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I wasn't teeing up for that, but I appreciate it
Right.
a lot. Right. Joe, you have to form a super group,
Oh.
a boy band super group, and then we'll get to a mixed band. Of
Just
all
boys.
you don't have to put me in it. I won't be offended.
Oh, God.
Who all the boy bands
Of any era.
of the world, the Jackson 5 to 1D to Westlife Tech, take that, Backstreet, and you name it.
How
Pick
many
5.
members have we got?
It's got to be 5 because one's going to leave.
Or get booted.
Yeah, depending. And we'll all go back for Chinese in an apartment and do a
Right, well,
reunion.
listen, got to say you, haven't I? Because
Yes,
you've invited
I'm
me on
in,
your show
I'm
today, so
in,
it'd be
I'm
rude,
in, I'm in.
rude not to. I'm going to say, oh, God, this is tough. I'm going to say, let's go Gary Barlow.
Okay, yeah.
Let's do a bit
Brilliant.
of Barlow.
He'd be in my one now, in fairness. So I put him
Yeah.
in. Yeah.
Oh, God, I'm trying to think of bands. Let's do, vocally, let's do Lee Ryan.
Okay, right.
I do like Lee Ryan's
Yeah,
voice.
very amazing.
Okay, and then we're going to go for, why does my brain gone blank? Give me some bands and then I can remember the,
You've done Take That.
Yeah, done
you've
Take
left
That.
Robbie out, by the way, because you picked Gary, but you can put Robbie in if you want.
Yeah.
You got Boyzone. You got NSYNC.
Oh, okay. Oh, NSYNC. Right. So let's do NSYNC. Let's obviously do Justin.
Okay, JT's in there.
Yeah.
You
Let's
got
whack
Backstreet
JT.
Boys. You got the Osmonds. You got the Jackson 5.
Oh, the
You've
Jackson
got,
5.
I mean, you could probably include the Beatles in there if you wanted to.
Let's do John Lennon.
John Lennon.
Yeah.
Okay, so who have we got? We've got me,
Yeah.
John Lennon. We share a birthday, by the way.
Me and Kian share a birthday.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, what's that? April.
April 29th.
Same year?
What is he? 79?
I'm nearly, is he 70? No, he's 80. He's 80. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
He's only a
79.
young pup. Okay. So we've JT, we've Nicky Byrne,
Yep.
we've John Lennon.
Yep.
Who else say? Lee Ryan.
Lee Ryan.
One to go.
Oh.
Am I right? Nicky Byrne, John Lennon, JT, Lee Ryan. Yeah,
Let's
you
do Michael Hutchins. Yeah, he looks good.
Okay. You're basing that on looks.
Yeah.
And who's going to leave first? It's got to be Michael Hutchins. He definitely leave first.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do that.
Okay. Well, listen, Joe, it's been brilliant. One last question. If heaven exists, what do you
Yes.
expect?
A large drink and a comfy bed.
Yes. Joe O'Mara, not Mira. Thank you so much for coming on the HQ.
Thank
Joe
you.
O'Mara, everybody.
Hey.